Good evening, my dear friends. Hello. Today we'll try to tell you about new game that's called Selaco. Selaco's developers have gone above and beyond with the anime AE to the point where each one feels like an encounter with a real player that's trying to preserve their own life. Most games have enemies that throw themselves at you, make no effort to keep themselves alive, and they generally don't move once they decided where they want to go. Selagos is completely different than that. Enemies are smart, they're aware of your position, their communication with other enemies, and adjust their strategy accordingly. And they actually care about surviving. For example, say you're in an office complex and there are three enemies looking for you. One will eventually see you and knows your location, then it will decide if it was to shoot you right there or try to get behind covers first. It really depends on what you are doing when they see you. While this is going on, you can hear the enemies communicating with each other, which really enhance the combat. I can stress it enough how satisfying this is to play. I mean, here I am talking about how interesting an encounter with only three enemies can be. It's by far the best combat I ever experienced in a first-person shooter. It seriously highlights how brain-dead the enemies are in other game I've played, which is something I never thought about before Selaco. The other thing I really love about Selaco is the environments. This game also highlights how boring and empty most games feel. In Selaco you can stand just about anywhere in the game and hear a lot of ambient noise from objects in the maps like vans, computers, trees moving in the wind, etc. What's special about this game is that you can also hear ambient noises from places you can get to. You can hear the sounds of gunshots or explosion way off in the distance, which really makes the game feel bigger than the player. There is more going on this world than what you can see. One part I'll always remember is being in a building and hearing jets flying overhead, and seeing some object in the room. I mean actually move around a little because of how low the jets are flying. There was even a stack of paper that got pushed, which threw sheets of paper all over the room. You never actually see the jet, but it's another bit of environmental storytelling that makes the game feel like a real place. Playing Selaco will ruin other game for you because you'll notice how dead silent there if nothing is going on. There is a lot to love about Selaco, but still leave it as this 2 for now. Since this game is open source and has full modding support through the Steam Workshop. I really hope people make lots of custom maps that showcase how great Selaco's combat can be. A slow and immersive shooter in this day and age, I must be dreaming. Selaco is like a baby of Doom 3 and Fear. It takes the best things out of both of those titles. It features great atmosphere and immersive exploration of the former, but which intense tactical combat of the later, so far at least, that is all dressed up with stylish visual, great gunplay, Metroidvania style semi-open world, and with sonic music put on top of that. It's not a horror game, but it can be spooky and don't be followed by the engine, as with a focus on slow exploration, atmosphere and deadly tactical combat, it's much closer to millennial shooters, like Half-Life, Alien vs Predator 2, Fear, and etc. Rather than anything resembling Quake, Doom or Duke Nukem, it just at a glance looks like a boomer shooter. So far a definitely highlight of the year and I can't wait to see what more it has in store. There is a lot of games out there that borrow from several genres that are IPS, and most of the time they do a piss poor job of it. Some don't understand why some conventions were done away with one adheres upon them, keeping in an annoying aspect for the sake of staying true to the nostalgia. It's never a good look. In my 10 hours so far, Selaco doesn't seem to be making this mistake. The game borrows what works and glues it all together for an experience that's seemingly tailor-made. How the level alone feel like what would happen if I talented map maker for Doom or Duke got some proper funding and or time. It doesn't feel super great to use dodge, and the slide even less. I'm going to blame this on its being early access. When you slide or dodge, you generally to do strictly in the direction you were pressing. This should blend a little, or at least permit some proper diagonal sliding dodging. I missed sliding behind a doorway and got shot for it because my slide and aiming wasn't perfect. It does feel great. Sliding required to progress early in the game, so there is no sense in going away within. As a game, mixed sliding with their crouching functionality, maybe a slight trigger when you crouch after a dodge. It would make dodging in all directions possible in the very least. Maybe I haven't found an upgrade yet that addresses this, but even so, the shotgun is massively powerful. Like UMPTF strong. The firing rate is really just slow, so slow in fact that it's an enemy survivor that most definitely will take away half my health in realization while I'm pumping the shotgun to its merit. It's pretty feel like what a key S-3 would feel like. When it kills good. When it doesn't, you feel like your paths have dropped down. It's lead to it pretty much being watching guys, and hope you see you later my friends. Goodbye.